My boss keeps telling members of our company she only makes $23 an hour. I work for a fine gardening company in Re, and every client we work for is either a millionaire, one might even be a billionaire. Nearly 15 clients with a crew of 5. She has told 2 members of our crew when they've asked for raises, $2 raises, that she only gives herself $23 HR, which is why she's not willing to pay someone that hourly rate. She even showed someone her pay stub. I don't even know how I would handle this situation if it were to happen if I ask her for a raise. Edit came in to add that she is in fact the owner of the company. She has nearly 25 years of experience in the industry. I have about 5 years of experience in the industry with various certifications, ect. That's what she's paying herself as salary, but any profits the business makes she also gets to keep as a dividend. She could pay herself minimum wage. Doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, she keeps all the profits. She owns all the equity. She's also probably driving a company car and probably lives in a house the company owns. My mother, who owned a real estate business, once told me she only made $500 a week. Which was true. But all her expenses were paid by the company. If she ever shows her pay stub again, say, "Wow, that's very transparent of you to share this information with me, thank you. Will you show me your personal budget as well, because I am having a hard time making ends meet. I'd like to model my spending to be more like yours." The pay stub doesn't show the bonuses she pays herself if your situation is similar to mine, certainly not if the bonus is paid at year end. I gather she's the owner? Tell her, awesome, don't raise our wages but make this a worker co-op where everyone splits the profits equally. I'm sure she will love that. Note: don't do this unless you're ready to risk your job. If she's not the owner, then maybe she should be asking for a higher wage too. Raise all of yours and hers by $2 an hour. $23 hours sounds like a lot to me because I make much less, but the actual living wage is over $20 now, so it's not really. My old boss, small manufacturing company owner, used to do that but also cut herself a separate $50,000 check every quarter. This place had 0 time off the first year and 5 days off from year 2 5. Was surprised I requested 3 days off when my son was born. We were all a family. I'm sorry Tina, I don't care if you invite all employees to your barbecue pool parties, the pay was shit and you are a horrible person. I'm currently working for a small pool company. The owner cries poor every day. Meanwhile, she can buy expensive cars, live in an expensive house, in an expensive neighborhood. Her and her family do not want for anything. When I asked her for a raise the other day, she said I bring home more than her, and I could take time off to do side jobs, carpenter by trade. I started looking for jobs the same day. And you should too. They are greedy as fuck, and will never change. Her compensation is almost certainly not limited to salary. The business likely finances the majority of her lifestyle, like her vehicle, home, utilities, etc. So while on paper she is paid the $40,000 salary, her monthly expenses are not a part of that money most likely. Look, I couldn't care less how much you pay yourself. I think my labor is worth $X, and if I'm not getting it here I'll go get it elsewhere. If that puts me above you salary-wise, that's your problem, not mine. I owned a bakery and I paid myself minimum wage or not at all. My employees made more money than I did. I was too afraid to take more than that because what if something broke down, or what if we didn't make enough money that month? Every time one of my employees asked for a raise I gave it to them. I also would give them bonuses in cash so they weren't taxed. The bakery was really successful and I wouldn't have been that successful without my employees. As the owner she gets access to the profits. She's straight evil and thinks her employees are stupid. Everyone should leave, she have zero income without you guys. Profits and what she pays herself are two very different things. Funny how she's selective wording here. She only pays herself $23 hourly as a salary, but all the company profits are also hers if she is sole owner. I pay myself a small salary weekly just to have some sort of social security income when I retire, but hubby owns the company. And yes, he does actually give out $1 $4 raises. She's Michael Scott. I own a business and it's honestly not making much profit, so I don't take home much at all right now, but I actually pay my employees more than myself because they keep it running and it wouldn't exist without them. Woman shrugging. My 2 cents. Before you ask about a raise, I do some research and job hunting. It doesn't hurt to see what's out there and see if you can get a new job that'll pay you more than what you're making now. The reason I say this is because she's likely going to deny you a raise and expect you to go back to work to continue to make pennies. But if you ask for a raise and she says no and you have a job lined up, then you can tell her that you found something better and leave. Unfortunately, I don't think she's gonna change her mind until she loses her help to the competition. Then she'll blame everyone but herself. I remember when my boss charged like $130 an hour and paid me $25. Then my hourly cost went up to $175 and I still made $25. Why? Because we were busy, so market demand. Change is made from within. Don't rely on the boss to change anything. Better pay only comes from changing jobs in my experience. Ask her to show last year's tax return or the corresponding profit-loss statement if she really wants to prove she's not making much. The pay stub of a business owner in no way relaxes what they actually make. She can pay herself any hourly wage she wants and keep any profits in addition to the wage she pays herself. Ask her if potentially losing an employee over $50 WK will potentially lose her more than $50 in business per week. I had a boss that did that. Only paid himself $500 a week and put the rest into the business so he couldn't pay an employee more than himself. Loved the job but couldn't pay my bills, had to leave. That's just the way it is sometimes. I'm an accountant at a family-owned company. My boss makes a salary of $140K at first. I thought that didn't make sense, given the scale and revenue. Then I issued his and his wife's distributions. He's also getting $5 million in shareholder distributions. Salary doesn't shut when you're the owner. She's definitely killing it on the distribution end, otherwise nobody in their right mind would operate a business for only $40K. Ask how much profit she gets at the end of the year. Is it a S Corp, sole proprietor or partnership? Tax differences. She pays herself $23 to stay in the 12 tax bracket. Since corporations only pay 16, she might have a workaround for the balance of her income. Stuff like, is the vehicle she drives a company car? Does she has office space in her house, etc. If you can't get more and you believe you are worth more, go elsewhere. Lol, she gives herself the hourly wage to avoid paying taxes. Fuck her. Bezos only makes $80,000 a year according to his salary. If her salary is the only income she is declaring, she's probably going to find her way to prison sooner or later. Yeah, totally reeks of deception. Especially if she runs her business as an LLC. She could easily pay herself the additional profits as a bonus, keeping her yearly salary steady for tax purposes. While her reason is disingenuous, you're not going to get her to budge. What she is really saying is that you are at your pay cap and you can be replaced if you demand more. When she showed her pay stub, ask about her profits, dividends. Then ask for one of the profits, EA. Profit sharing, thoughtful face. She's either lying, or she's severely undercharging for the work. Either way, she's not a good business person. I encourage you to take what you've learned and strike out on your own. Rest is paid in dividends. What one person makes, especially the owner, doesn't have any impact on what others make. Don't compare your value to what they're willing to pay you.